If you want Matt Canada gone, you're not going to like this. Yesterday, Cam Heyward dropped an episode of his podcast with Kenny Pickett as the guest. And they talked about a lot of different things. Tom Brady, Big Ben, the playoffs, how this last season went, Mike Tomlin. And actually, Jordan Addison was even brought up. And Kenny Pickett seems to think that Addison has more top-end speed than I would give him credit for.
I hope he's probably going to run low 4.3s, maybe high 4.29, like 4.29, 4.28 if he's got a good start. He's got that kind of speed.
And of course, they talked about the topic that everyone is wondering about. Matt Canada and this offense. Here's what Kenny Pickett had to say.
I think we really caught stride after that bye week, man, and we figured out, what it's going to take for us to win and what that recipe looks like. So we continue to grow as a team and grow as an offense.
Pickett also goes on. He picks my brain on what I like and how I like it. Throughout the game, he's asking me to rank plays. He likes to see the game from a quarterback's point of view. He keeps things different. And he even addressed the elephant in the room, or rather the thing that's been most criticized. More explosive plays.
But we just need to take that jump into year two. We need more explosive plays. And, he's doing a great job of trying to figure out, what we need to do to get those and, put up some more points. So I'm excited to, continue to work with him this offseason.
Listen, man, a decision hasn't been made yet, but I think this is pretty much case closed. Canada will be back in 2023. Kenny Pickett talking about being excited to work with him this offseason, and the fact that we get further and further removed from our last regular season game, and Canada is still on the coaching staff. Now, granted, there are reports out there that Tomlin is dealing with some personal matters, and some of those type of decisions are put on the back burner, but I feel like the writing is on the wall. I mean, you hear how Pickett talked about him in this interview. Canada will be back. And, of course, you know how I stand with this. I am good with it. You got a young quarterback in Pickett who is comfortable with this OC, who has trust in this OC, who has a relationship dating back to Pitt whenever Matt Canada was trying to recruit Pickett to go there. Also, he's had success under this OC and has made improvements under this OC. So I don't get why you got to make this switch going into year two for Pickett. And this is also at the early stages of Matt Canada's career as an NFL offensive coordinator. So why not continue to build on what they got going? And this isn't saying that Canada won't be judged or critiqued in 2023, because I feel like it's going to be a make or break year for him. We do need to continue to see what was happening in the latter half of 2022 going into 2023. We need to see constant improvement, constant developments, because, let's be frank, 3/4 of his tenure as the Steelers OC hasn't been that amazing. But as of right now, I don't really think there's a reason to rock the boat. Canada earned a spot, or earned at least a chance at another year as the Steelers OC. Another thing to consider, and another thing that I gathered from this Pickett interview, is maybe how the offense was structured last year, particularly since the bye week, with the long drives, with the no turnovers, with the chewing the clock, was something brought down by Tomlin as a formula that he thought would be best to win the games.
Kind of understanding, how Coach Tomlin would kind of lay out how we're going to win a game, in that first team meeting. And it's kind of he would call out exactly how the game's going to go every single time. So, I would just take it to heart exactly what he says. Like, all right, this is how he sees it. And I would try to execute, to the best of my ability of what he had it, how he had it laid out.
Again, we're complaining about winning games. We went 7-2 since the bye week. Could have been 8-1 if Pickett didn't get hurt. And I think the offense played a prominent role in that. It's not like we were winning in spite of the offense. They were a big part of that. Like, 30 points is cool, but what does it matter if you ain't winning? And that's not to say this Steelers team ain't capable of putting up 30-plus points, because we should have had easily 35 against that Browns team in Week 18. Like, Chargers just put up 30 points. Is that all we want? Do we just want flash and a lot of points? They lost. They put up 30 points and lost. What does it matter if you're winning 2017 versus, hey, losing? You put up 30 points, but you lost 35-38. So, going back to kind of what Pickett said there, maybe this was all a strategy for the team winning. But also, I would take the Steelers' offensive approach in the second half of the season compared to the Chargers' offensive approach, for example. And why I mention that is because their offensive coordinator just got fired. People are like, should the Steelers be interested? They put up a top 10 in yards per game or points per game. I don't care. Anyone that watches those type of games knows that the Chargers offense was a disaster. They were over-reliant on Justin Herbert. They didn't have a good formula, didn't know how to run the ball, and they're out of the playoffs. Now, granted, we didn't make the playoffs, but we shot ourselves in the foot too early in the first half. So there's a context to all this. I think we were one of the best teams or one of the better teams in the league in the second half of the season, and I have no doubt in my mind that this team could have competed in the playoffs if they would have made it. And again, going back to the beginning, it's in part due to the offense. In addition, here's another point in favor of Matt Canada staying. Everyone, after the Buccaneers loss against the Cowboys, was saying that Byron Leftwich was basically guaranteed to be fired. He was their offensive coordinator. But now, reports just came out recently that that's not set in stone. Either way, my question is this. Are we sure we want Leftwich to be the offensive coordinator here? Or let me phrase it a different way. Are we sure he is a lockdown, definitive, guaranteed upgrade over Matt Canada? You got to consider the rapport that Pickett and Canada have developed here. And if you bring in a new OC, whether it's Leftwich or not, you're going to have to start from scratch then this offseason for Pickett's sophomore year. And has anyone seen the Buccaneers offense in 2022? Did anyone just witness that? It was a disaster. Not saying that's all on Leftwich, but goes back to my initial question. Are we sure he's like a guaranteed lock to be better than Matt Canada for the Pittsburgh Steelers? I don't think I can say that. So then it comes down to, are we just making a move, or do people want to make a move just to make a move? But that's it for this edition of Big Deke News. Let me know what you guys think of. This was a very Matt Canada-centric episode. Let me know what you guys think of these new reports or these new hints that Matt Canada could be back with the Steelers in 2023. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Stay chilling. Peace.